Welcome to Coffee House Lane, Jenny. Delighted to have you here.
I'm thrilled to be here. I love coffee, especially Coffee House Lane coffee. Tell me about Coffee House Lane.
We're a family business. We started off about 10 years ago. Myself and my father started it. He's since retired.
Wow.
But Coffee House Lane, we're a heritage brand and we're all about Waterford and all about coffee. Our kind of signature blend is 1690, which refers to the year that the very first commercial cup of coffee was roasted, brewed and sold in Ireland. And it all happened.
Waterford?
All happened on Coffee House Lane.
Wow.
So Waterford then would have been one of the busiest trading ports in the entire British Isles, but certainly in Ireland. And just off of the quay in Waterford was a small laneway which didn't have a name at the time, but has since become known as Coffee House Lane because of the name of the coffee house which was on it.
So you roast coffee for Faithlegg as well?
We do.
And that's probably a combination of...
You have your own unique blend.
Yeah.
So it's your own unique blend that we worked together with yourselves when we started with you. And it's got your own unique taste profiles in there in the coffees. But it would be coffee primarily from South and Central America. So we work on a mix of a Colombian and a Brazilian coffee.
So talk me through the story of the coffee. When you get it, and what do you do with it? And how does it get into a cup of coffee in Faithlegg?
So what we do, we will sample before we buy. We'll sample in some green coffees as we know it. Green coffee comes into us in big 60 kilogram sacks. So we will roast that coffee, either depending on the taste profile that we're going for the coffee, we'll either roast it mixed or we'll roast it separately and blend it together afterwards. So it all depends on the coffee that we're making at the time. So with your particular coffee, we blend them together first, then we roast them. Generally, we bring it to about 200 degrees, 210 degrees, slowly over about 20 minutes. So we use a slow roasting profile rather than a lot of other roasters out there will roast rapidly over about 10 to 11 minutes.
What's the difference?
We just think you get a lot more control over the coffee, over what's happening inside in there, and there's no dangers of burning the coffee, there's no dangers of going too fast in. At the end of the day, it's a chemical process you're going through, or it's a physical changes in the coffee. So if you rush it, you can, you're a chef as well. You rush something too quick. It's something bad can happen inside in there. So at the end of the day, we're at this 10 years. We've done that in the past. We've made those mistakes. So we've learned the best way for us is to use a slow roasting profile, and it draws out the flavors and gives you that exceptional cup of coffee.
And you spoke about Origin Green.
Origin Green, it's very important to us. It's all about our sustainability. So Origin Green is a programme run by Bord Bia. So it actually recently voted the most reputable state agency in Ireland. But Bord Bia have been great support to our business as well as many other food producers all over the country. But being a part of Origin Green gives you your sustainability credentials. So we would make commitments to say that it's a 5-year process. So we would say, like, over the 5 years, we will commit to moving all of our coffees to being Rainforest Alliance certified, where 50% of them are at the moment. We will move for all of our packaging to be 100% recyclable. We haven't moved to compostable yet because the industry hasn't moved that far with the valve and everything for it to be cost effective as well.
Oh, tell me about the valve.
So the valve on the inside of it, so if you look at a bag of coffee here,
I often wonder what that was about, all right.
So on the bag of coffee, there's what's called a one-way degassing valve. So right after we roast coffee is given off carbon dioxide. And if we don't let that gas escape, the bag will just puff up and explode.
So that goes into the bag warm?
So coffee will go in. It could still be slightly warm. It depends. We'd roast it. It might sit for an hour while it's waiting to be packed, but it's never any longer than the same day. So we'd pack the coffee. Then when we pack it, it's still continuing to give off CO2. So that allows you to pick it up as well and give the bag a squeeze, and you can get a lovely smell of coffee.
Our bean at the moment, I suppose, our Faithlegg busy bean, it's flying with coffee.
We even get compliments back in here. I said people know that it's our coffee is out there, and they're giving us compliments, and they're going, we can produce a good cup of coffee, but it can be easily ruined during service. So the lads out there who are making the coffee out there. So we did a bit of training with our lads who do the training. Brilliant. And they've been exceptional out there. So they've been making fantastic coffees.
We were talking about it, and they said 2 hours. What am I going to make a cup of coffee? 2 hours. But I'd say they could have stayed another 2 hours.
And that's one stage of training. You could go on. You could be doing training for a week.
Brilliant.
The person who tells you they know all there is to know about coffee is lying to you. I said I'm in the industry nearly 20 years, and I'm learning something new every day.
I think Waterford is after taking a huge step towards being coffee snobs. Would you agree?
I would have to agree. I said I was quoted once as saying that we moved from a nation of tea drinkers to a nation of coffee snobs in a very short period of time. But look, long may it continue. I said we're loving the coffee industry in Waterford at the minute.
Brilliant, and thank you for supplying Faithlegg.
No, and thanks for buying our product. Thanks for supporting us. The local support has been fantastic for us.
Yeah.